Welcome back to Writing Done Right. Well, today we want to do a brief introduction to WordPress, which is why I'm recording this from my studio office, so we can do a little bit less editing and go ahead and look directly onto the computer and show you what we're looking at when you're talking about creating an author website with WordPress. So thanks for coming along. I am Tom Morosky. I'm an author and a technology consultant, and I have actually spent the last decade of my life doing WordPress design and website design in general. WordPress actually for about 8 years, although I have used WordPress since version 1. I think we're on, what are we, 5 or something now? I don't know. We'll get into there. But when you're talking about creating your website, many people will say WordPress is the most used options. It has its positives. It has its negatives. One of the things it's trying to be right now is it's trying to be a tool that the common basic user can just create their account and upload your website. The sad reality is more often than not, that doesn't work. And so you still might need to hire somebody to help you with your website, but there are still reasons to use WordPress in that respect. I can't tell you how many people thought that they would just follow the marketing and create their website, and in 5 minutes they're going to have their amazing, perfect website. And the reality is they're always left looking for someone to help them complete it, or they go live with a site that is definitely not professional. And I'll tell you in the outset, if you are looking to create an author website, I have been doing this for about 8 years on WordPress and about 10 years total as a professional. And actually, I've been working with websites since the late 1990s. So you can also reach out to me and I'll get you a quote for building a website. But when we're talking about going in and looking at WordPress, you're going to immediately find there's a couple of pieces of conflicting information that I want to clarify. There is what is generally referred to in the industry as WordPress.com and WordPress.org. What are the differences and what are the similarities? Well, WordPress itself is the CMS, or content management system, that goes behind how a website is designed. Now, one of the downsides about WordPress is since it is so frequently used, it is also a huge malware target. So you want to make sure that your site is definitely up to date, definitely patched, and free of vulnerable plugins and things like this. This is actually where WordPress.com makes a little bit more sense. You can get a free one which does not have a custom domain, and I always recommend get yourself a custom domain. When you have your WordPress site on WordPress.com, what that means is that they are hosting your backend infrastructure. Every website needs a host. WordPress.com, they are their host. They're also managing it, and they are also going to always push up all of the security updates at the time they are ready to go. So you will generally always be more secure on a WordPress.com website. But it comes with a lot of downsides. One downside is you have zero flexibility over your custom theming, custom plugins, anything on the back-end code, unless you're paying the super advanced fee, in which you may as well just go with a WordPress.org site. Now, over here, we're looking at WordPress.com. This is the site where you come on over to WordPress.com and you can create your website, world's most popular website builder, and that is true. WordPress is a lot of the websites. The other open source ones are Joomla and Drupal, and then there's a few other markup languages and other tools that are a little bit more difficult to use at times as well. So you can head on over here, build a site, sell your stuff, start a blog, so much more. All these basic things. We get down to the bottom. Let's just click on this to hopefully get down to the bottom. It's going to take us a separate page. No, I don't want to go there. I want to show you guys the offerings, which are at the very bottom of the site down here. Very poorly designed site if I already know what I'm looking for, where I can't go in and just click down to see these options. You have the free option here. Now, your free option, you end up with yoursite.wordpress.com. That does not look particularly professional. So as an author, I would not recommend doing that. But if you are in a pinch, you can go ahead and get started with it, and you can actually upgrade your plan later and push it out. So you can actually get started for free, see if it's this platform that you want. And then if you're like, okay, I can work work with this, you can upgrade to the personal for a single site. Now, I do not think this will support e-commerce, but I honestly don't know. I do not work with WordPress.com sites because they're too restrictive. But with the personal, it's $4 per month and it's billed yearly. So is it 4 times $12? And with that, then $48 a year. So with that, then you will be able to get your own domain. You'll be able to access some email and live chat support. So you'll get a little bit more support if you're actually paying them money. Otherwise, you're going to have to rely on somebody else. And if you ask me and you're using WordPress.com, I'll try and help you out, but there's a chance I may not be able to. Just because of how restrictive it is, it works on a different measure than us in the WordPress or just in general web design industry tends to work. You can go with the premium, which is $8 per month, billed, of course, annually. And so that's going to be, what, $96, I believe. Here you can build a unique site. So in other words, you can add some custom theming capabilities, custom CSS, and Google Analytics support. So if you do want to measure your analytics, how well your site is reaching, you have to go with the premium. There's business, $25 per month, billed yearly. Once you get up to this point here, custom plugins, themes, all this kind of stuff, you're generally better off just buying a hosting package and using WordPress.org. And then the e-commerce, this is the one that if you want to run an e-commerce platform, you're paying $45 per month, billed yearly. This is an excessive amount of money, in my opinion. In fact, if this is the direction you're going, you'd probably be better off using Shopify or some of the other things that are explicitly geared towards selling e-commerce. But those are your options. Now, WordPress.org is actually the place where you go to grab the open source code, and then you can put this up on your self-hosted website. So with this is completely free. It has completely customizable. You have access to every line of code. The downsides of this is you have to be more on the ball with security updates and backups. You have very little support other than the online forums, but the advantage is way more people like me that you want to hire are going to work with you if you're on a WordPress.org self-hosted site, is what you hear it said, self-hosted. Now, you will need to buy your own domain name. You will need to buy your own hosting. I recommend and have an affiliate for A2 hosting. I also have affiliates for SiteGround and InMotion if you are looking for other alternatives. The reason I use A2, now, there's a lot of hosting companies out there like Bluehost and HostGator are big ones. These are not good hosting companies to go with. They have very little back-end support. They, last I knew, they still do not support free SSLs, so you're going to have to pay for SSLs, which Google kind of likes if you want to rank your website well. A lot of these features. SiteGround, A2 hosting, InMotion, the ones that I'm recommending on my platform, on my affiliates page, all of these support free SSLs. So you can come in here and create your hosting plan, which for your first year is going to be about $3 per month. I think you can buy up to 3 years at this promo rate. And then after that, it's going to be like $10 per month. This is a very good platform to get started. You can see it's like, well, that's a little bit more than WordPress and you still have to buy the domain. That is true, but you have a lot more custom control. Let's jump back to the WordPress.org though. The other major advantages, like I said, full custom theme. You can build your own custom themes. You can work within your platform. You can do anything with it that you want, or you can hire somebody more likely than not to do anything with it you want. You're not limited to the fees. You can still install WooCommerce for free, which is the #1 e-commerce platform. You can install that for free. You are going to have to pay some for some of the plugins if you want some of the more advanced features, but I actually ran a WooCommerce store for a long time without any extra external plugins, and it works just fine. It's just, do you want some extra tools, some extra automation, things like that. So with this, you can go with either one of these options are decent. If you're a complete novice and you're not going to be paying much attention to the security, definitely pay them the $4 for the personal use. You start talking about, well, if I can't sell my books on it. Honestly, most people are not going to be buying your books directly from you anyway. Just have a good place to send them links to Barnes & Noble, send them links to Amazon, send them links to all sorts of other places you're interested in looking at. If you do want to run your own stores, or you want a lot more flexibility and control, and you promise to be up on those security updates, WordPress.org, in my opinion, is a way better option. But that's also speaking from a 10-year professional in websites. Now, what do you get? Well, my OWIC Publishing, which is my publishing company group, this one here is actually designed in WordPress. It will probably not be in WordPress for long, but it is actually WordPress right now. So I just kind of wanted to show you and highlight this. So I have more details. We'll get you different books. Here's the variety of books that we have. So you can buy it directly from the author. You can buy it from Amazon, Barnes & Noble. Here's actually going to the author website. Ooh, I might have to update these links. Oh, no, it's still going to my author website. This one's not running WordPress, but I'll show you that option another time. All right, so this guy here, inside of this, we have just simple menus, very simple to work with. We have, here is our About page, here is our Contact Us page. This is all done here on WordPress. We have an integration right now. This is actually feeding into a MailChimp newsletter sign up down there at the bottom. So that's a neat option you have. As far as your backend, this is what the back end of your site is going to look like. You can see here that we do have some updates to do. It does want to update PHP. There's a reason I never did that yet, but I actually work in the field, so I understand the risks of that right now. And you can see I have some plugins that would like to be installed. And you can actually kind of see I'm using some security plugins here. So you can see, the number of people trying to hack into the site. So this is kind of the problem. This thing is blocked over like 1,500 attempts to access my website because it's WordPress. You have to be up to date on your security, very much so. All right, so that is the back end. So as far as managing your site, WordPress is fairly simple. This is why it is so much better for your basic novice. It is very easy to use. We have a separate place, posts, which is basically your blog posts, and pages, which is all of the other rest of your pages. You have media, which manages all of your media files. That could be images, that could be PDFs. So I have here, looks like this site here, I just have images on things. No big deal. You will not see a gallery. This is something that is custom. Gallery and books is something that I built custom into my platform here as well. This is actually what displays the galleries on the front page. You'll see a section for comments. Contact is in here from the plugin called Contact Form 7. And then inside of your appearances menu, you'll see your variety of different themes. I'm actually running my own custom theme here. This is something you can't do without paying the $8 per month on the WordPress.com. But then you have the ability to customize it. Here is your widgets menu where you can create different widgets and drop them in. Here's actually where my MailChimp homepage sign-ins are, things like that. So you can kind of see how the site is put together here with various widgets and such. And you can control your menus in your menus. So here I have footer menus, I have inner menus, and I have a home menu. So that's actually the difference on those is looking at this. The menu on my main home page up here is actually different than the menu that is on the other downward pages there. All right, so, and we also have that. We have our plugins manager over here. This is where the little notification indicator there says that there's some plugins to update. This one does need updated. In fact, today is my update and backup day. So these will actually be updated today. We have user accounts. We have available tools and various settings inside of here. So that is actually WordPress. It's overall very easy to use. There's advantages, there's disadvantages, and I think next time we do another intro, I'll actually show you what Joomla looks like. A little bit more complicated, but it's the preferred platform I'm moving most of my clients to as long as I can right now. But anyway, there is a brief introduction to WordPress. So thanks for coming along, guys. You can have a look at our website if you want to at WritingDoneRight.net. You can find out more information and have a look at the other services that we offer on the site. So thanks for coming along, and I hope that we have taught you how to get your writing done right.